So there's an escape I like to do when I'm caught in an armbar. It's a last ditch escape. It's the hitchhiker. So of course Rob here is going to show how to destroy the hitchhiker escape.
Before we go through how to address this, Stephan's just going to demonstrate the hitchhiker escape. So as I start to break the grip free, Stephan's going to rotate his thumb down, turn, and he's going to pop up in a guard passing kind of alignment. So what makes this hitchhiker escape work is there are a couple of components to a successful armbar. One is I need to control the rotation. So you can do that with like a bro handshake. There are a few different grips that work. It's kind of on you to figure out which one works best for you. But the assumption is as I'm trying to maintain that control, I've failed. And so there are two levers in Stephan's arm, right? Or if you want to define it that way. You can make it into one, you can make it into two. There's his forearm bones here. So from his elbow to his wrist. This is obviously not including like fingers and all that kind of stuff, but just from his forearm to his wrist and then from his elbow to his shoulder. So when I'm attempting to apply an armbar, I'm trying to control this lever, I'm trying to control this lever, I'm trying to control his shoulder joint, and I'm actually trying to control the opposite shoulder either by affecting his posture and controlling his neck, or sometimes people across the ankles. Again, not super important. What's important is that there are two levers here. I'm currently controlling this one. So as Stephan rotates, I've lost control of that lever. And if I keep holding on, I keep trying to bridge, there's a potential of, keep going, there's a potential of me switching to the omoplata, but the problem is I've gone from being in a top position with my armbar and Stephan being on bottom, to me being on bottom and Stephan being on top, and I don't have him in an omoplata submission, I have him in a threatened omoplata where he potentially could still be successful. So let's just rewind back the other way. So one of the easier answers that I've found is because I'm losing control of this lever, and as I've stated in the past, jiu-jitsu is basically a game of frames and levers. So as I start to lose control of this one and Stephan's starting to turn, is I'm just going to grab his elbow. So you keep turning. So even if Stephan goes to come up, just the pressure on his elbow here is going to make it hard for him to come up. But even if you do, coming up, I've hooked my leg. Let's rotate completely around. I've now hooked my leg into his hip, and I've used my thigh to replace the lever control that I had on his wrist. And so now I can go right back to the armbar at a slightly different angle, but without him having the ability to posture up. If I was controlling here, he can rotate his elbow free, right? And that's what enabled him to escape. But because I gripped the elbow and I hooked my inner thigh, or I pressed, my inner thigh against the top of his triceps while hooking his hip, I've prevented that final rotation that he needs to elevate his posture, and I can finish on the armbar relatively easily. So rather than holding onto the wrist, I'm simply going to switch elbow and lace my foot in. Let's go back again. If Stephan starts to turn, I go to here, he comes up and I hook, and let's say he has managed to bring his arm around to this side of my hip. In the previous iteration of this, he was over here and I was able to reset the armbar. But let's say he does actually manage, by still holding onto the elbow, now I attempt to finish the guard pass.
I can't really turn the corner to get to your back.
Exactly. So I'm still holding onto the elbow and I'm controlling your rotation as I hit in behind you, and I'm just going to reset to attacking the back.
As I try and circle my hand out of there, I'm giving you the route to the back.
Exactly. So version 1 is assuming that your arm stays on the other side, where I would normally potentially do an omoplata. So let's just do that one more time quickly. So version 1 is you start to hitchhiker, I switch to the elbow, and I just keep your arm trapped, and I reset the armbar there. Version 2 is if your hand makes it to here, I still keep holding the elbow, and I keep pressing my thigh against your shoulder and triceps while hooking your hip, and I come up into base, and I just start scooting behind you. I can't let go of your elbow until I come up, and then I can go for whatever back take I prefer.
Cool. It's really, you think you're out, and then all of a sudden you run into the...
Pulled back in.
Yeah, just when you think you're out, you drag me back in.
Exactly.